Welcome back to What's My Role? I'm Mythic Bean, and this is our 0 to Hero Arms Warrior Challenge, where we're taking a character from character creation all the way to 2500 rating in Mythic Plus dungeons. So just like the first episode, we're starting off with Forge Master Damien and his endless flames. I don't like fighting this mini-boss just because of the ridiculous amount of shit on the floor. It's not that he's particularly hard, it's just the navigation and melee. Yeah, it's just a mess. So we clean him up. I didn't show it earlier, but the only death we've had so far is I think the hunter died at the very beginning.
Oh my god. He's shit everywhere. He's shit everywhere!
And then the hunter kind of runs past this pack straight to this mini boss that is running to us. So we kind of have a bad pull here, and we end up losing the hunter again. They take a hit because the tank wasn't quite able to establish aggro back there. But they release and they make their way back to us, and we just kind of clean up this pack. First boss fight goes really smoothly, nothing really worth showing here, so I'm just going to skip straight to Baron Braunpike. And I'd say this boss fight is kind of the deciding factor of, you know, is your key going to be timed or is it going to be bricked? We took on some of the sacrificial pyres, but we weren't able to quite deal with the affix, so we end up losing everybody and wiping. Funny enough, the tank calls for the reset after it's basically only him alive. I'm like, yeah, I agree. So as we're running, we kind of have this weird moment where, who is that? I think it's our monk accidentally, like, goes a little bit, takes a step too far when we should have been waiting for the tank, but he makes it there in time and gets aggro. Other than that, we make it back to the boss after he calls for some, you know, he says stack so we can bait the hammers. Take one debuff at a time, yeah. As you can see, though, we did not stack to bait the hammers. We had I think it was the warlock was waiting back there. But it still goes fine. We end up finishing the boss and have the bad timing with the Void Emissary shows up right after we beat the boss. We've already got people running up the stairs. But the rest of the dungeon goes smoothly after that. Yeah, I'd say Priory is really about that Braunpike fight and how well you do, at least at this level. Get the Signet of the Priory trinket. It's a pretty decent little trinket, and there we go. And that puts us at 1654 rating, 651 eye level, and we jump into a Theater of Pain 6. This dungeon goes mostly smooth other than me. You can see there, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot those can knock you back. And then obviously I didn't learn my lesson though. And then, I don't know if anybody else gets lost in here, but this dungeon's confusing if you die. Luckily, we had a warlock, though, and I got summoned up to this fight. And, that fight goes smoothly. We do have a little bit of trouble here on the last boss, Mordretha. So the Dark Devastation kills our hunter there. He gets the B-res. And then we're taking quite a bit of damage from this right here. This Reaping Scythe. It kind of just destroys us. So me, the lock, and the tank are still alive, but it is quite hard to get all these interrupts off and get everything pulled in. A-bomb limb would have been nice there to kind of just get everything all together.
I'm alive!
But not for long. And then there's like a moment where I'm like, oh shit, the tank's gonna die. But it's a death knight. He's not gonna die. So get out the popcorn. Let's just watch him finish this fight for us. He ends up fighting him for quite a while on his own. What a hero, says the priest. Yep, Hunter says hero, I prepare the legend text to send as soon as he finishes off the boss there. Let's go. Puts me up to 1726. And I believe I just got gold. Then I get into a Operation Mechagon 6. And this run is super smooth and clean until I am the sole death in this entire run. I get killed by this fucking spinning cogwheel. So yeah. And then our healer has that add-on that kind of just shames you when you take avoidable damage. So it called me out there, and then it calls me out here at the end. Oh, look at that. Axelotta.
I did it! I did it in your face! I beat your asses! Whoa, gay! Gay! Gay, 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 gay. What are you doing? Why are you two kissing?
In hindsight, I probably should have asked if they need helm instead of head. But hey, the healer's interested. Look at that, we got some 6s done. And I've got half of I got my 2-piece tier set bonus. And I get into a Cinderbrew 4, which is quite a low level, but it was really hard to get into any Cinderbrews.
George.
Don't touch.
George.
Don't touch.
George.
Do I have to follow you all day?
So I don't know exactly what happens here. The tank was like having issues with where to take the mob. It seemed like somehow the druid had temporarily gotten aggro as well, because the boss starts moving towards him, and then that causes him to touch one of the other, whatever they're called, little ooze things. So I die to that. A battle res goes out, and we get some of the other guys up. But at this point, look at his shield, man. Hold on. As soon as I'm smart enough to move my camera here, we'll see. Yeah, look at that. That's great. So yeah, way too many brew drops touched. He says, Wiper, 2 big shield, gotta keep ads away. Which, I mean... The tank was... So that's why I moved the boss. Yeah, I mean... He kind of was moving the boss away, but... There was that weird aggro thing where it looked like he was targeting the druid for a second, and he moved backwards away from the tank. So we kind of try again. And you will see that there's once again some kind of weird movement. Like, I don't know where he's trying to bring. He's like moving all over the place. And yeah, like there he goes. Like, get him the fuck away from these brew drafts. Trying to deal. I don't believe we stopped this. Nope. We don't get the Void Emissary down. And then we go back to whacking on the boss, but he says save PI for the ads. So we're trying to clear up these brew drops before they touch. Tank starts moving them that way. I think there's some more weird movement here in a second though. Maybe it's on the next part. Yeah. I think after this round, he kind of brings him to the middle close to those, but the thing is the brew drops will respawn in those same puddles. See, so he's moved the boss to the middle here, and that's where all these brew drops are coming back from their little shit piles that they've made. So it's like he's in a fucking awful spot right there. We clearly are not going to survive that. So then we get a little bit more talking in the chat after this wipe here. Yeah, here we go. All cooldowns for ads, I guess, says the Druid. Tank wants to know, what can I do better? Is it something I'm missing? And yeah, for this fight, you want to be using a lot of the room, and you want to be taking the boss to the far side, and you definitely want to keep them away from where the ads die, because they will come back in their little piles of shit. So yeah, there's some confusion for all of us. Just CC the ads and keep away as best you can. Can we stand one side of the room? I start to say something earlier, but I changed my mind. Say drag, should be able to. When we go to middle of room, doesn't seem good. Yeah, stay out of middle at spawn times, I say, is my input. Okay, clear ads far side so we can use the whole room, says the priest. And that's a great fucking idea, because we were not able to kill the ads quite quick enough. So we clear those ads over there and then we go again. As you can see by the timer though, we are clearly not going to be timing this dungeon. Okay, so I stun this one, put my bleeds on it, and then I move over to this one. I'm going to put my bleeds on this one. And I'm just trying to get some damage over time on these guys, and then moving to the closer one. Then we take care of the emissary. We start hitting the boss again. These guys have respawned from their piles from when we killed them last time, so I start hitting them while the other ones are spawning in now. And then having that devastation evoker in here is nice with this like wing buffet and shit. And then having the druid where they can use like vortex or whatever. We've definitely got some nice counters to these things. Nice CC and stuff. So things are getting a little nasty. He's got him in the corner here still. He does move him away though. And then we kind of have all these brew drops nicely together, so we can just AoE them real good. Like, here we go. We've got one left. He's close, unfortunately. As you can see, we also did not take care of that Void Emissary, so that didn't help. Oh god, he's getting close though. Oh god. Yep.
Nope.
We get the boing. That was perfect. Thank God for that. Okay, he starts his spouting stout. We've got him down to 5%. And then the tank, thankfully, oh Lord. No, oh yeah. We almost had him dead, and then he gets hit right there. And then we have this epic moment. I did not think we were going to stop them from getting there. That was just like an amazing hold the line moment. It felt so nice to get that kill. Did not care that we were not going to time it after that. But we finish it. Still got 12 points. So, you know, still a gain. Definitely more of a learning experience for everybody. Everyone's kind of chit-chatting. Tank says this sucks. They're returning. Welcome back. First time tanking this dungeon. Yeah, this one's a tough one. But he didn't do bad. It was really just that one fight that we had some issues with, and we figured it out. So good job, everybody. Got into a Rookery 7, and it went nice and smooth. Got 55 points out of that. Brought me to 1823. That's more Gilded Chris. And what did I get? Got some Thunder Pants, which I believe I give to the Blood DK here. Yeah, I think the Druid and the DK might have been playing together. They seem to be a little team. He says, I need it. Always feels nice to be able to help people out with loot and stuff. $18.23 got me 48 Gilded Crest and got 651 eye level still. Oh god, Motherlode 7. So this one really, this one was definitely something to learn a lesson from. So this is just a mess from the start for us. We lose the hunter there, like immediately, and I'm not seeing the hired assassins, which they need to be taken. They need to be stopped, or they are quite painful. And then another thing I'm not doing is, well, I'm hitting the mech jockey here, but I switch off of him when I should have focused him down, because if the mech jockey reaches that mech over there, that's another peacekeeper that we have to deal with. So the tank rolls over to try and stop the mech jockey on his own, ends up pulling that other group along with them. And yeah, it's fucking nasty over here. I res and I'm like thinking we're, gonna basically start over. But the pool is actually kept alive by the priest, unfortunately. So it drags everything back here to the start. We do have some damage on everything, but it's a clusterfuck of a pool, so continuing to suffer here. There's 2 peacekeepers, right? So there's nowhere to fucking go for me here. I was too slow and made the wrong choice with my initial direction. Tank says, just die. Please don't die to tear gas. We need to stop. We need stops on jockeys too. So he's like, there's a teachable moment. Warlock says OMG and then bounces.
You sure?
It works out though, because I just jump into another Motherlode 7, and this one goes, a bit smoother. We still have 13 deaths, but we completed it, got 29 score, 1852. So it feels nice to finally be getting these 7s done. We've got a Rookery, we've got a Motherlode, both done at 7. Jump into a Priory 7, goes nice and smooth. So send out the GGs. We've got to finish up this annoying emissary at the end here.
We've had enough of this nonsense.
And I got another fucking Signet. This one's a hero one though. So yeah. Immediately upgrading the champion one that I got. And we jump into an Operation Floodgate 7. And it is going nice and smooth until we have... This is a pretty gnarly pool. So we've got these inspectors, we've got the jump starters, and we've got the electricians in here. So the electricians are putting dots on people. The inspectors do the frontal, the like purple frontal that will stun you. And then the jump starters are putting these yellow circles everywhere. So this is just, it's a mess of a pool. So it's definitely pretty hard to deal with for melee. As you can see, I'm kind of having to step away a lot, having a lot of downtime where I'm not doing damage. And then it's also hard to interrupt shit when I have to constantly be running around and avoiding things. Eventually this dot from the electrician puts me out of my misery though. So we run it back. We've got 6.5 minutes about by the time we, well, 6 minutes by the time we get back to where we were. The tank starts the pool by grabbing the contractors and the inspectors here together. And I'm kind of just wondering, like, are we just gonna take it easy since we got 6 minutes? Or are we going to... But no, he decides we're gonna, yep. He just kind of takes time to gather up this a little bit. Establish the fight, the start of the fight before we come into here and start working on the electricians and the jump starters as well. I'm actually doing decent damage in this dungeon though. Currently at the top, I don't remember if I finished there, but kind of neck and neck with the DK. As messy as this pool is though, it's definitely a pretty fun one to do. And then, you know, after that we continue on to the boss. And we end up barely timing this fight here. I think we had like 10 seconds to go. So GG's, timed our first Operation Floodgate 7, got 41 points. Put us at 1944. Things are going good. So yeah, we're in 1944 with 4 7s done. That was the end of week 2 actually. So I got another vault. I don't even remember what I got from it though. It wasn't a tier piece, so I was disappointed. I went and did a bunch of delves, did world quests, did all that stuff, get my gold back up, because I was broke as hell by the end of that week. I think I was down to like 100 gold at that point. And then jumped into a Cinderbrew Meadery 7, first dungeon of week 3. And this room is usually a messy room but if you kind of like split it up into about 3 decent sized pools, I think it's mostly about the mean mug dot. You don't want to have multiple mean mug appliers. So we kind of split that room up into about 3 pools. Take care of Chewy, we take care of the first boss. And then as we're starting down the first wing, things are going well, like I'm top DPS. And we have another free situation. And my game actually ends up crashing, so I have to completely restart it. When it froze, it was at 2209. And by the time the game comes back, you know, I turn it on, load it up, enter the world with my character. At this point, I'm like very close to tilting. I'm like, please be back, please be there. It's 1832 by the time I get back in, so I've lost a bit of time and it really sucks. Very similar to the Operation Mechagon that I had in the last episode where I lost, multiple minutes in the dungeon. But I made it back. I'm extremely frustrated. I run back. I'm trying to, establish my groove again. We're trying to clear up this trash right before this boss. And then this shit happens. I don't make it out of the stun, and then this shit gets put on me, and I die again. So I'm like, I was fucking tilting for sure. I was so mad, but I made it back. They were still working on that guy, getting to the boss fight. And the boss fight goes pretty well, actually, so... I think after we killed the boss, I felt a little bit better. I was like, okay, we can maybe still time this. It certainly doesn't help the group that we lost multiple minutes of my damage being there. We take out the Buzzbee, and we work our way through the other wing, clear out trash in this room. We've got our new affix since this is technically week 3. This affix is not too tough to deal with. It seems like you kind of just get like an absorb shield debuff on you that you clear by healing yourself a little bit. So I usually will just use Impending Victory or whatever it's called. And it usually will just take care of the affix for me. But yeah, we go ahead and we clear up this room. We've got 8.5 minutes plus this trash to finish dealing with before 2 more bosses. So things are gonna be close. The tank is definitely doing a good job of keeping the boss the fuck away from all the brew drops though. So it's looking like it's gonna be a pretty good situation. Able to take most of the ads out at the same time in the same spot. A couple are a little bit further back. Heroic leap my way back over there and try and do as much damage as I can before the next round. Tank has already pulled him back there, but he does run him very close to that brew drop. Doesn't touch it though, so no harm, no foul. Boss dies. We are fucking rushing. We got 4 minutes plus this goddamn BRP, which takes so long. Like, look, 3:59 when I clicked on it. How long does it take us to fucking land? All right, more than 10 seconds. Oh, I fucking cut away. Like, why do we gotta spend that long riding on the damn bee? And then after that, we have to fight this really annoying mobs, the yes men, who every time you kill one, it'll heal the rest. And then by the time the boss fight starts, we have 2 minutes and 17 seconds. So it is gonna be close. Oh god, I almost get hit by the cash cannon here. And I think we actually do have some deaths here. I fuck up the mechanic here and I don't get any barrels, which I guess you don't necessarily have to. We've got 1.5 minutes at this point. And we're not doing enough damage. goofing up the mechanic. I almost died there. We got 50 seconds. The boss is at 34%. There's fucking lava everywhere. We're taking some really big damage here. We actually have a death. Our healer dies. Then our monk dies too. We do get battle reses out on both of them. And then it's like we got 15 seconds, 24% health. We're just burning as hard and as fast as we can. Basically praying that we can time this. But we don't quite pull it off. We go over, and at that point it's like, fuck, we know we didn't time it, but we're still trying to kill him as fast as we can. And there we go. I got my Keystone Master 2009 score, and that is the first dungeon I run during week 3 of the challenge. If I didn't crash out of the game for like multiple minutes, we probably would have timed that. So very unfortunate, but we end this episode with 5 7s and 3 6s, 2009 rating. So we only need just under 500 score to complete our challenge. And I'd say things are going pretty well. Really appreciate everybody watching and subscribing. Definitely helps if you like and comment. If you're enjoying, let me know. I'm really having a lot of fun doing this challenge. I wish I had more time to slam keys and edit. I am a few weeks ahead. I have not finished the challenge yet, but I am pretty close. I'm thinking probably we'll just have the next episode, hopefully will be the last one, and we'll have a nice little 0 to Hero challenge within 3 episodes. But I did want to ask you guys what you thought about, after I finish this Arms Warrior challenge, what should I do next? If you have any thoughts or opinions, you could leave them down in the comments. I could always spin the wheel again, or maybe we could just have the comments decide. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. But yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.